Bonjour. My name's Conan. That's my spirit name as well too. It's Cree for snow. And I'm a Lynx clan. This morning I woke up and found out that this was going on. I wasn't quite clued into what was going on. But I have a lot of faith and a lot of belief in what I was told at a young age, that everything happens for a reason. Everything unfolds exactly the way it's supposed to. And I really feel for my sister here, Crystal. She's sitting on someplace I've sat lots of times. I've had to swallow where I worked because I needed to have an income. And I just want to reassure you, Crystal, you're there for a reason. You're learning lots of stuff that you're going to be bringing forward and helping our people with. Because every position I've worked in has brought me here to what I'm doing right now. And I have to swallow some of that as well too, because I hate conferences. I hate these things. And I'm working for this one right now. And it's really important because I was asked by these elders, they call themselves National Indigenous Council of Elders. Nice. And they put themselves together last year. I don't even remember the names of all of them, but Mary Meadmore is the one that I'm following right now. And these elders are all successful business people. They're in their 60s and their 70s. And they recognize that our wealth, it's called the Creation of Wealth Forum. It's kind of misnomered because it's not about wealth in the English standard of wealth. It's about bringing together our collective knowledge, our collective abilities, because all of us have gifts. Every one of us have something to offer to this circle, and we all belong here, whether you're an ally, whether you're one of our sisters, one of these children. The children are all in the room over there. That's good they're here. But we all have to be here. And so with this nice group, they've asked me to come and promote their forum, the Creation of Wealth Forum. Last year they got together and there are 18 different models of making money within our already existing resources. Each of our reserves are all isolated and they're all operating on their own without a public service. This is all great, we're here together as a grassroots trying to strategize, but the reality is we still need resources to operate in this society. We still need to have some sort of income to make sure that our sovereignty is asserted. So that's what these elders realized. And so they're working towards that with these 18 different models of creating money within our own society and asserting our inherent rights. The first one that they addressed was the gaming, because gaming is already established all over, but they're all individual belonging to each reserve, other than places like Broken Head, South Beach. That's 7 different communities that came together to make that successful resort, and it's there. We could do more of those kinds of things. It doesn't have to be casino though. Anyway, so gaming. They brought together a bunch of gaming people in October. They created a drafted constitution to put together an Indigenous Peoples Gaming Confederacy. They brought together 100 more people in January here in Winnipeg, and they worked on that drafted constitution. They amended it over a 3-day period, just like you guys are doing here. And they created January 8th, 2014, an Indigenous body called the National Indigenous Peoples Gaming Confederacy. And this was a confederacy put together because AFN had a resolution that we needed a national gaming commission of some kind. AFN already decided this. And so, nonpartisan, these elders went ahead and created it, asserting our inherent rights. I was sitting in an AFN meeting, executive meeting in South Beach last week, just by chance. Honestly, we all end up somewhere for a reason. I started out saying that. I didn't know that I was going to end up listening to Acklio and getting mad. I had federal flashbacks. I worked in Ottawa, lived in Ottawa for 18 years, and I left. My last job was with Congress Aboriginal people. Patrick Brazo was supposed to be my boss, so I know the corruption that exists for us up there running for us. So it's us here in this room, us here that are going to these, even though it's a conference, it costs money to get there. We need to start working together. So they created this body in January, right? I'm sitting at the meeting last week. AFN's got a resolution, November 5th and 6th, they're going to have a conference. They don't know where they're getting the resources from. They don't know who's going to man this, but they're going to have a conference to create an Indigenous People Gaming Commission. Okay, it just got created already by our own people, grassroots. Now they want to go and recreate it. That's because that's the government. It's the government that wants to control us. And so they're going ahead and doing it. Unless we stop it. Anyway, so that's one area. So instead, we're moving forward. They've done that one area of the 18. This is number 17. number 2, or 18. And it's about trust funds. So I'm promoting this trust fund thing because right now, I know for a fact, there's trust funds all over, all kinds, whether it's provincial, federal, or even the community trust funds, the land entitlement trust funds. All that money is our money. We have to ask for how we're going to use it. It's sitting in the Treasury Board right now, the coffers, the purse of Treasury Board, at 2%. That's all that we can get from any of those trust funds when it's government money. If they would give us our money fully and completely, we could take it and create money out of that money, more than 2%, 30%, 40% if we wanted to. And that would be our instant tax base and our sovereignty existed right there. It's going to take probably several years to do this, these Indian trust funds. But you can go online right now, and PEGWIS actually is pretty cool, because you go PEGWISFirstNations.ca, everything about our community trust fund is there. Everything about our TLE is there, our land entitlement is there. And so the 85-page, I don't even know what to call it, government piece of paper that tells us how to use our trust fund is there. And so we're taking those things apart. The compliance that the government expects from us are on those trust fund documents. And we're going to rewrite those so that they are still compliant to what the government says, but take our money away from them so we can start using it more effectively. Because right now we're limited by what they tell us to do and how they tell us how to use it. So if you can please help me get the word out on working this kind of nice, the National Indigenous Council of Elders. These elders are working hard to assert our inherent rights instead of waiting and waiting and waiting and negotiating for them. So, make